coronation footage as the king and queen leave the thrones and head for the exit. No one moves a limb, a muscle, when Camilla passes. And that was because they were angry with Camilla.
Lied and used fake documents to obtain the interview with my mother, made lurid and false claims about the royal family, which played on her fears and fueled paranoia.
Everyone seems to despise Queen Camilla, but why? Is it the scandal of her long affair with Prince Charles while he was still married to Princess Diana, the nation's beloved people's princess? Or is it the way she was painted as the villain in Diana's tragic story?
Well, there were 3 of us in this marriage, so it was a bit crowded.
It's the media that's causing the problems. Leave them alone.
You see the faces? The people in there. Look at them. Trapped.
Over the years, Camilla has faced endless whispers of rivalry, jealousy and resentment, from her rumoured hatred toward Diana to her rocky relationship with Catherine, Princess of Wales, and even the controversies tied to young Princess Charlotte. But beneath the crown, is Queen Camilla truly the cold-hearted schemer the public believes her to be? Or is there more to the story than meets the eye? The Diana factor. Why does Queen Camilla face so much public hostility? From the moment her long-standing affair with Prince Charles was revealed, Camilla Parker Bowles became entangled in one of the most infamous scandals in modern royal history. Her involvement with Charles during his marriage to the cherished Princess Diana instantly cast her as the villain in a love triangle that gripped the globe. Decades later, even as Queen Consort, public opinion of her remains sharply divided. To many, she is still viewed as a woman whose choices permanently damaged the monarchy's reputation and whose presence continues to stir resentment. The Diana factor has left a lasting mark on her image that time has not erased. Princess Diana, in contrast, was adored across the world. Her empathy, elegance, and unique ability to connect with ordinary people made her the face of a modern, relatable monarchy. Diana brought warmth and humanity to an institution often seen as cold and rigid. As a young bride marrying into centuries of royal tradition, she earned instant sympathy. But it was her personal struggles within her marriage, especially once Charles's ongoing relationship with Camilla became public knowledge, that established her as a symbol of suffering in the eyes of the world. From the very beginning, Diana seemed to outshine Camilla in every possible way. Diana's charisma and natural charm made her the media's favourite, while Camilla was often portrayed as aloof, calculating and unapproachable. To the public, Diana was the outsider who had been thrust into a suffocating royal system and endured it with grace, while Camilla was seen as the interloper who caused that suffering. She became the other woman, the figure blamed for destroying the fairy tale union between a prince and his young bride. This narrative hardened after Diana's candid 1995 interview with journalist Martin Bashir. In that now legendary conversation, she openly addressed the pain of her marriage, famously saying, "There were 3 of us in this marriage, so it was a bit crowded."
Well, there were 3 of us in this marriage, so it was a bit crowded.
That single remark not only confirmed the affair between Charles and Camilla, but also placed the weight of responsibility squarely on Camilla's shoulders. The press eagerly seized on the scandal, painting Camilla as the ruthless figure who had inflicted heartbreak on Diana and dragged the monarchy into crisis. Public reaction to Charles and Diana's divorce. The fallout from Charles and Diana's separation was immediate and brutal. When their divorce was finalised in 1996, just a year before Diana's tragic passing, global sympathy was firmly on Diana's side. The revelation of Charles and Camilla's affair had already shocked the world, and the divorce cemented public outrage. For millions, Diana had been wronged, and Camilla became the prime culprit behind the collapse of what was supposed to be a royal fairy tale. The press at the time relentlessly fueled this perception. Every headline, every tabloid feature seemed to portray Camilla as the homewrecker who had shattered Diana's marriage. Newspapers fixated on secret rendezvous between Charles and Camilla, the strain it put on Diana, and the final breakdown of their relationship. Scandal after scandal filled the front pages, and the public appetite for the drama seemed insatiable. As a result, Camilla quickly became one of the most despised figures in Britain. But the disdain didn't stop at the UK's borders. Diana's popularity was global, and so was the backlash against Camilla. Wherever the royal family was discussed, the narrative was the same. Diana was the wronged princess, and Camilla was the villain who had stolen her happiness. To this day, Camilla has never fully escaped that association. Her reputation remains stained by the memory of Diana's heartbreak, with many still linking her directly to the end of that ill-fated marriage. Even decades later in the public consciousness, Camilla is still tied to the role she played in one of the monarchy's darkest chapters. What made matters even worse for Camilla was that Diana wasn't merely viewed as a victim, she became an icon. Diana symbolised dignity under pressure, a woman betrayed both by her husband and by the institution itself, yet who continued to dedicate her life to charitable causes and to her sons. She was the mother of a future king, and her bond with the public was unshakable. The more Diana was celebrated as a humanitarian and survivor, the more Camilla's image suffered by comparison. Even after Charles and Camilla finally wed in 2005, large portions of the public refused to forgive her. To many, she could never replace Diana, nor earn the same love Diana commanded. Despite efforts to soften her image over the years, Camilla remained in the shadow of Diana, branded forever as the woman who came between the prince and his princess. The royal marriage, a reluctant queen consort. When Charles and Camilla finally married in 2005, it marked the beginning of a new chapter for the monarchy, but not without controversy. Their union, while legally binding and personally fulfilling, was never universally celebrated. To some, it felt less like a romantic triumph and more like a compromise forced upon the institution after years of scandal. The Church of England had long opposed the marriage of divorced individuals, particularly when the divorce had involved adultery. Since both Charles and Camilla were divorced, the wedding was met with hesitation, both from religious authorities and from traditionalists who felt it undermined the sacred image of the monarchy. Queen Elizabeth II herself notably did not attend the civil ceremony, attending only the subsequent blessing, a subtle but clear signal of disapproval. From the very beginning, Camilla's official status was treated with caution. Rather than taking on the expected title of Princess of Wales, a role forever associated with Diana, she was styled as the Duchess of Cornwall, a deliberate choice to avoid provoking public anger. The palace seemed aware that directly stepping into Diana's shoes would be a disastrous move for Camilla's already fragile image. Even after her marriage to Charles, Camilla was not fully embraced. She kept a relatively low profile, rarely commanding the spotlight on her own. While other royal figures often carried out solo engagements with flair, Camilla appeared hesitant, frequently overshadowed by Charles or by the memory of Diana. To many, she seemed like a reluctant royal, someone tolerated rather than admired. Over time, she did make efforts to soften her image, supporting causes related to health, literacy, and domestic abuse, but the public's skepticism lingered. Unlike Diana, who had captured hearts effortlessly, Camilla's presence never quite generated the same affection. Instead, she remained associated with her past role in Charles's marriage, making it difficult for the public to view her as a legitimate partner in the future of the monarchy. This sense of reluctance carried into her new title as Queen Consort after Charles's accession. While tradition dictated her position, it was clear that her rise was not celebrated with the same enthusiasm as previous queens. To many, Camilla's marriage to Charles didn't heal old wounds, it reopened them, reminding the public of the scandals that had once shaken the royal family to its core. Public judgment and media scrutiny. Few figures in the modern royal family have been subjected to as much relentless judgment as Camilla. From the earliest days of her relationship with Charles, the media made her a target. Newspapers routinely cast her as the villain, and television commentators picked apart her every move. While Diana was framed as the tragic heroine, Camilla was painted as the cold and calculating other woman who'd stolen a princess's happiness. The press fed on this narrative for years, and the public consumed it eagerly. Tabloid headlines labelled Camilla a homewrecker, gossip magazines dissected her private life, and paparazzi hounded her wherever she went. Each photograph was scrutinised for meaning, her posture, her expressions. Even the clothes she wore were interpreted as signs of arrogance or guilt. The scrutiny was so intense that Camilla retreated from the public eye for long periods, rarely giving interviews or appearing at high-profile events. Unlike Diana, who charmed photographers and developed a unique rapport with the media, Camilla struggled to control her image. She lacked Diana's star power and vulnerability, traits that endeared the late princess to the public. Instead, Camilla's reserved demeanour was often misinterpreted as coldness or indifference, reinforcing the idea that she was unfit for a central royal role. Even after marrying Charles, the scrutiny did not end. Critics often accused her of trying to rewrite history by stepping into a role once meant for Diana. Every new title, every public appearance seemed to reignite the debate over whether she truly deserved her place within the monarchy. Social media only amplified this hostility. Online forums, Twitter threads, and comment sections were filled with resentment toward her, with many insisting that she would never be accepted as a legitimate queen. At times, the attacks bordered on cruelty. Camilla was mocked for her looks, her age and her background. She was compared unfavourably not only to Diana, but also to other royal women, such as Kate Middleton and Meghan Markle, whose youth and charisma captured more positive attention. The constant comparisons left Camilla stuck in a role she could never win, overshadowed by Diana's memory, criticised for not living up to modern royal standards, and judged harshly for choices made decades earlier. This cycle of media scrutiny and public judgment created a stigma that still clings to her today. No matter how many years pass or how diligently she fulfills her duties, Camilla remains for many the symbol of betrayal, forever cast in the shadow of Diana's legacy. For decades, Queen Camilla has been at the centre of royal controversy, painted as the villain, blamed for scandals, and forever shadowed by Diana's legacy. But whether she is a manipulative schemer or simply a woman caught in the storm of history, one thing is undeniable: her place on the throne has changed the monarchy forever. So is Queen Camilla truly the most hated royal of our time, or has the world been too eager to crown its villain? Tell us what you think in the comments below, and if you want to uncover more secrets and scandals hidden inside royal history, make sure to like this video, subscribe and ring the bell for more.